Welcome. We're here at an Essential Oil 101 class. We're going to talk about the basics of essential oils and go through everything that comes in a kit if this is what you wanted to start doing. So my name is Julie. I got started with essential oils actually to help my husband with his migraines. That is the sole purpose when I started researching all of this way back when. And he is somebody that's never been able to take prophylactic drugs where you take it to prevent your migraines, but he takes what we call a rescue drug, so it's when you get a migraine. And to me, a rescue drug should be taking maybe twice a month, and he was taking his drug 3 to 4 times a week at times. So I started looking into what else we could do, and we got turned on to essential oils, and we tried that. And since starting essential oils with him, we have him off of his Prevacid, which he's been taking for 15 years for reflux. He is off his Ativan, which he's taken every single night for sleep. He has dropped his Zomig by about 80%. He is no longer taking ibuprofen, which he took about 600 milligrams twice a day. He uses the pain cream that we were just talking about. And he no longer takes medications for his allergies during ragweed season. So really pretty significant for him. It kind of branched out. I got my mom sleeping for the first time in 12 years. She actually went through chemotherapy. And then I started using something for my thyroid, and within 2 to 3 weeks of using it, it was like life-changing for me. It was 180. So I've been on thyroid meds for over almost 2 decades. They've had me on different meds. They've switched my meds. They've doubled my dose. They've increased it. They've added selenium. Nothing really helped. Nothing changed my labs when they ran a thyroid panel, and I started 2 different things, and it was just remarkable difference. So that's kind of where we've, and then it's kind of branched into, there's an oil for everything, and we use them all the time. So I'm actually a physician assistant. I work at Bronson. I work in interventional radiology. What I do is procedures where I draw fluid off of patients' bellies and chests. It's generally end of life patients. So by the time they get to me, like, it's too late. Like, I can't fix them, and it's really, really hard for me because I get to know my patients very well. I see them weekly, sometimes twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week. I see them for months or years. I get to know them very well and their families, and I can count on one hand the number of my patients that are still alive. So that has worn on me. When I found this has given me a whole other avenue to focus on preventative health and see if I can reach people before any of their conditions become terminal. So it's been a lot of fun. It's been a crazy journey since I started. I teach classes all the time, so this is a 101. I teach 201 classes, so we kind of go more extensive. We talk about how essential oils actually work in our bodies. We talk about frequencies, sensitivities. We do Zyto scans, which is a biofeedback machine, so I'll pull out the Zyto compass so we can all scan each other and find out what oils we need. And then I do what we call make and takes, so you come, I have all of the supplies, containers, you get to make your own products, so like body lotion, shampoos, Thieves foaming hand soap, hand sanitizers. We do something different every month. You guys come, there's a small fee to cover costs of the containers and whatnot, and we get to make everything, and you leave with your products and the recipes. So really fun. October we focused on cold and flu season, so we did Thieves foaming hand soap, a Thieves hand sanitizer, and immune boosting foot rub. That's why I asked, because oregano's in there. And then in November, we did a make and take that focused on things you could make for Christmas gifts. So we did a stress away sugar scrub, relaxing bath salts, and invigorating shampoo. So lots of ways you can use your essential oils, not only to improve your health, but then to get rid of toxins out of your house. So one of the things with my make and take, I looked for the top 10 brands of shampoo sold in the world. Things we know: Pantene, Pro-V, Garnier, Herbal Essence, Head and Shoulders, ones we hear about commonly. And I went to the EWG, which is the Environmental Workers Group. .org. You can go to the Skin Deep database. You can look up every single lotion, skincare product, hair care product, you name it. You can look it up. And then you can get a toxic level, 0 through 10. Like 0 to 2 is mild, 3 to 6 is moderate, 7 to 10 is high risk. I looked up every single shampoo. The lowest was a 4. Most of them are 5, 6. T-gel was 7 to 8. So, I mean, it tells you you're using that every single day. Not only is it absorbing into your scalp, but you're breathing it in. It's absorbing into your hands. So we made an invigorating shampoo so I could show people how easy it is and how you can save money making your own products. Shampoo had Castile Lavender, which is a 0 on the EWG score. Organic coconut milk, water. We did organic sweet almond oil just because it's winter, we're heading into winter. And then you guys could pick whatever oils you wanted in it based on your hair type or whatever. So a lot of fun. In your folders, you'll see my business cards at the bottom, so if you need to contact me, if you want to be part of the Facebook group, which is a fabulous resource for information. Did it?
I clicked on it last night because I was looking up Facebook pages for Young Living, and I saw you.
Yeah. Yep. Lots of information. If you're on my team, you're automatically put on it, but you can always join it. I post information about oils. I post recipes, do-it-yourself recipes. People post testimonies, questions. And then there's my other contact information. You can always call me. You can send me a text. You can private message me on Facebook. However you'd like. I'm always available. And the insert in here is talks about the premium starter kit and what's included. We're going to talk about that tonight. On the back side is the oils and some quick usage. These are actually old. They just changed the kit November 17th. They pulled Valor and Peace and Calming out. And we have Melaleuca Alternifolia, which is tea tree oil, and citrus brush in there now. There is a raffle ticket. There are some do-it-yourself homemade products that we'll raffle off at the end. So at the end, I'll have you guys fill out your information on there. There's a sheet in there that you can take notes on in case you can't keep up with everything I'm saying. There's a sheet in my December classes. We're obviously heading towards the end because I don't have a whole lot going on around Christmas, but gives you an idea of what kind of classes I have. And then there's the 100+ uses for the everyday oils at the very back. So you'll see all that. So we'll talk about basically, I want to say that what I'm talking about tonight is Young Living essential oils only. So any testimony that I tell you, anything we talk about is Young Living. And the reason I mention this is if you were to go, I tell you got burnt, and I had told you at this class to put lavender oil on it. I don't want you to run to the health food store and get a lavender oil and put that on a 2nd-degree burn and have it turn into a 3rd-degree burn, because that has happened. Young Living essential oils are 100% therapeutic grade oils. They're pure, unadulterated oils. So some of the oils at the health food store, for instance, if it's called a perfume grade, it can have over 300 different chemicals in it, and it can still list it as essential oil perfume grade. And you won't know that all those other chemicals aren't in there. Some red flags to look for: if it has expiration dates, that's a big red flag. We've asked Young Living, what's the expiration date of these essential oils, and they'll tell us 5,000 years. You can tell somebody that because it will never expire in your lifetime. I joke about you can leave your essential oil collection with somebody in your will, okay? Because they still won't be expired by the time you pass away. They come in brown bottles, so it protects it from sunlight, and you just wouldn't want to keep your essential oils in the car during the summertime because the heat will destroy the therapeutic properties. Other than that, these will last your lifetime. So if there's a certain oil that you really feel like you need, but it's expensive, it's one of the things I justify myself. Like helichrysum is a really expensive oil, but it's got some fabulous uses. So it's like, it's never going to expire. I mean, it will be good 30 years from now if I needed it for something. So, I kind of treated myself when it was 20% off during the Thanksgiving. So
I need to get that.
Yeah.
What is it called?
Helichrysum.
Oh, what's that?
It's like a nerve tissue regenerator. Yeah, I mean, there are so many great uses. People, they'll use it like if they have a cut. I mean, you can just like put it on a cut and like the bleeding just like stops right before your eyes. Like it's one of those that everybody wants in their like first aid kit. So.
And I want to get it for work for his tinnitus.
Yeah, and it's a really good. It's actually I think listed first. Yeah. Yep. Also, if it says for topical use only, I wouldn't consider getting it because if you can't ingest it, I wouldn't put it on your skin either because putting it on your skin is getting into your body just as the same way as if you were ingesting it. So those are kind of the 2 red flags. I'm just going to, a disclaimer here, while I have my medical license, I can't sit here and tell you that I can diagnose, treat, and cure you. And we can't say that we can diagnose, treat, and cure with oils as well. In my head, I'm diagnosing you, and then I'll look to see what oil I think is going to be best suited for you. But so this isn't like Pampered Chef. This isn't like you come and sit through a class and you're like, oh, this is great. This is what I want. Julie, get me my oils. And then I take your money and then I order it and I deliver your product. It doesn't work like that. My role here is to educate and empower you guys on how to use your oils for a healthier living. So if it's something that you want to do, you get your own account. You sign up, it gets delivered to you. If you ever want to reorder, you just get on your account that you've created, your username and password. You just get to order whatever you want, and then it gets delivered right to your house. I'm just your resource via Facebook, text, private message, email, phone call to help you guys on how to use your oils. Also, anybody that's on my team, I gift you with this book. It's called The Essential Oil Pocket Reference. I laugh. It's clearly can't fit in your pocket. It's over 450 pages. The whole first half of this book tells you about every single oil, the medical properties, the uses, how to apply it. And then the second half of the book tells you can look up by symptom. When we say there's an oil for everything, there really is an oil for everything. So, like, I just pulled open. This says bruised muscles. And it will tell you the single oil recommendations, the blends, nutritionals. And then it will tell you whether you apply it topically. Obviously, for bruised muscles, it's topically. But if you're diffusing it or if you can ingest it, it will tell you all of the instructions. So I give everybody this book because this is crucial and when you first getting started and you're not sure where to go. I will tell you, it's overwhelming when you first get your kit. You can relate, right? Mm-hmm. What do I do? I can't, she's like, Julie told me so much information, I can't even remember anything. So what do I do? Where do I put the oil? How much? So this is a great resource, okay? It's okay.
That's the YL book, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's Young Living. It's published by Life Science Publishers, though.
But it's through, but can we get it through Young Living?
No. Oh, no. You can get it on Amazon. I think it's like $25 on Amazon.
And maybe I should just re-sign up, Julie.
Right? I know.
There's always that.
Okay, so statistics, and I'm never good at memorizing, so I'm just going to tell you. 80 to 90% of us Americans spend our time inside. And in the average American home, there's 63 hazardous products. Okay, so that's anywhere antiperspirants, perfumes, over-the-counter pain meds, skincare products, air fresheners. Air fresheners is a huge one. We'll talk about that a little bit later. So lots of chemicals in our home. And I will tell you, being in the healthcare field, I honestly feel that our healthcare is going the way it is in terms of diabetes, heart disease, cancers. I mean, everything's on a rise, and we see it. You see it in your friends and your family. I honestly feel that it's because of exposures. It's what we're eating, it's what we're breathing, it's what we're drinking, it's plastics. Because I'm seeing lung cancer in patients who have never smoked. I'm seeing breast cancer in young 30s, younger than me. I just had a gal diagnosed with an irresectable gastric tumor, a stomach tumor, 25 years old. I have a guy right now with cholangiocarcinoma. He's 36. Cholangiocarcinoma, it's a cancer of the bile ducts. We see that in like 70-year-olds, 70s, 80s. He's 36. He's got a 2.5-year-old, a 9-year-old, and an 11-year-old. I mean, it just breaks my heart. It's really hard to just, be draining him knowing that he's never going to see his kids grow up. So I feel like a lot of what we're dealing with now is from exposures and how we eat and our lifestyle.
Do you think that is true too? Because when my kids were little, they had ear infections like crazy. And my mom saying, you guys never had ear infections when you were little. And now what's like gluten intolerance?
Yeah.
Is that
really
just
bad
because it's more recognized, or has it become more common?
My opinion, if you ask me about the gluten thing, I think that it's all the GMO wheat because it's been modified. And we were born with certain enzymes to break down certain proteins, and now they've genetically modified these grains, and we don't have the enzymes to digest them. So I really feel like, I'm not sure it's necessarily gluten, but I think it's more, there are like celiac sprue and stuff. I mean, there really is a condition, but I feel like the mass people that you hear like, oh, I've got a gluten allergy, I'm not sure if it's true gluten or if it's more like the GMO wheat.
Right. It's such a breakdown in our ecocultural practices that have taken place over the last 30, 35 years. And unfortunately, our kids, who are now 27, 25, their children and my grandchildren are unfortunately stuck in that, and things that we never dealt with those things.
Right. Now, I think in terms of infections, I think that's because we're overly, like antibacterial, hand sanitizer.
Don't get a chance for our bodies to build that.
Yeah.
We never did that.
Yeah, you played in the dirt, and then you,
But the active ingredient, if you look at an antibacterial soap,
triclosan.
And
it's horrible.
One 10 cc syringe of triclosan in 3 Olympic-sized swimming pools is enough to cause hormone disruption. It can actually cause male children to be born with female parts and vice versa.
Yeah.
If it gets in,
and that's in hand soap.
It's in antibacterial hand soap.
Antibacterial hand soap. Anything that you see that says
antibacterial. The triclosan.
If you see triclosan, walk away.
Yeah.
Just wash your hands.
So that's why you can we make the Thieves foaming hand soap. It's fabulous. And it's just the Castile soap, so it's 0 on EWG. water and Thieves, like 5 drops of Thieves, and then we use vegetable glycerin. That's just your emollient to keep the Thieves in your water. But it's fabulous. It comes out of the container foaming. It smells great, and it works great. So, and that's antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal, just because of the properties of the essential oil. So, yeah. So that's why I think, and I at the hospital, we are forced to use the hand sanitizer every time we walk in a room and every time we walk out. It's a Purell hand sanitizer. I looked up on the EWG. It's a 5. My liver is probably on overload. I probably use it a couple hundred times a day. Sure. I mean, that's how many times I walk in and out of a room, and so we don't have a choice. Like, they do surveys on patients on whether healthcare users are using the hand sanitizer. So I'd love to keep my little Thieves hand sanitizer in my pocket, you know, and make the noise of the hand sanitizer and then clean it with Thieves. But yeah, so. All right, $4 trillion spent in healthcare in the U.S. Every major illness on the rise, like we just talked about: cancer, diabetes, anxiety, autism, heart disease. Preschoolers are the fastest growing group being prescribed antidepressants. Scary, especially with my, having 2 little ones now. 784 annual deaths from conventional medicine mistakes alone. 106,000 from prescription drug use. 290 people per day killed by prescription drug use. To put this in perspective, in 10 days, that's the number of people who died in 9/11. Kind of give you an idea. Being in the healthcare field, there is a place for modern medicine. I'm not denying that. And obviously I can't, not doing what I do. So, there is a time and a place that you have to go to the doctor and you have to have prescription medicine, or you have to have surgery. But I think that there's a lot that we can do and help our bodies do what they were meant to do. A lot of preventative stuff. So that's where kind of this place. Scientists say 1 in 3 get cancer, projecting in the near future to be 1 in 2, so half of us. Dramatic rise in birth defects, infertility, asthma, ADD, Alzheimer's, countless other illnesses and conditions. So this is where this comes in. This is a safer, healthier, better way of treating certain things. For instance, I don't want to put DEET on my girls for bug spray, so we make our own bug spray with essential oils. It works fabulous. We all use it, my husband and I too. We make our own allergy mix, we make our own sunblock, we make our own body lotion, we make our own face cream, the hand soap. So, there's countless things that you can make on your own. So we'll talk about what are essential oils. So if you're not sure, it's the lifeblood of a plant. It has protective properties, so that's the plant's defense mechanisms, but that is why there's therapeutic properties for us. What's interesting with essential oils is because the molecule is so minuscule, it's so tiny, it can easily cross the blood-brain barrier. This becomes important when we're dealing with issues that affect our brain. And I mention it because in the healthcare field, for instance, Alzheimer's is a tough condition for us to treat. And it's because you have to find a medicine that the molecule is so small that it can cross that blood-brain barrier, which is difficult. And the essential oils can easily do that. 1 drop contains 40 million trillion molecules. I laugh because I have no idea how many zeros are after that, but it's a lot. And prior to, if you knew me, I'm a pretty type A personality, and I research things up and down, left and right, until I'm confident that I've chosen the right thing or we're heading down the right path. So when I first started this and was looking for an alternative for Todd, I did a lot of research based on different essential oil companies out there. And probably another common one you hear about is doTERRA. That's a common essential oil company out there. I chose Young Living for some solid reasons. One, they are the only essential oil company that has their own farms. They're worldwide. They know that if they grow their plants in their native environment, they grow better. But their motto is seed to seal, meaning they are involved from the time the seed gets planted in the ground until the bottle of essential oil is sealed. There is no third parties. They don't outsource anything. They don't use any agrochemicals. To me, that's very important. They don't use Roundup on anything. They hand weed all of their crops, and they harvest at peak times only. And then they actually will discard anything that does not meet their high standards. So I really felt like this was the best company to work with. I felt like they had the best quality oils. So that's kind of a little piece on Young Living. Okay, so throughout tonight you're going to hear me talk about dilute your oil. Okay, so we're going to talk about what you would dilute it with. So an essential oil versus a carrier oil. A carrier oil is any oil that's going to go rancid, a greasy, like a vegetable oil. So olive oil, sweet almond oil, avocado oil, vegetable oil, coconut oil is a carrier oil, grapeseed, so certain oils you pick for certain things. Jojoba oil is a common one when you're doing face creams. So that is the carrier oil. Carrier oils you use for 4 different reasons. One, you'll use it if you're using on kids. Okay, so I always say dilute your essential oils when you're using it on kids. If you are going to use on kids, I would recommend this book called Gentle Babies. You can get it on Amazon, I think $12.95. This book tells you about using essential oils during pregnancy, labor and delivery, infants, and children. Okay, so it will tell you, which oils are safe and what the ratio for dilution is. And it's just a nice book. This makes a great baby shower gift, by the way, if somebody's having a baby. So like a bottle of lavender with this book, fabulous baby shower gift. So I recommend Gentle Babies. So anytime you're using essential oils on babies, you'll want to use a carrier oil. The second reason that you'd use a carrier oil is if you are for the hot oils. And when I say hot oil, you'll get to know what that means fast. Hot oils have a high phenolic content, so the phenols in the oil makes your skin feel hot. So Panaway, Thieves, lemon, Thieves, like just how hot it is in your mouth, that's how you can tell. Lemon, oregano, thyme, those are some of the hot oils. Peppermint is a really hot oil. I don't notice the lemon. I put lemon on my neck when I have a sore throat. I don't notice it being hot, but it's listed as one of the hot oils. Peppermint is a hot oil. They recommend diluting it. I use peppermint for my headaches, forehead, temples, back on the neck. I don't dilute it, but I like that feeling. It's kind of like icy hot times 10.
I did that today, and that was the first time that I'd really actually been able to feel it.
Oh, really? You don't normally?
I should have put a little bit of coconut oil because it was first time ever that it was that strong.
Wow.
I've used it before.
And it never really got it. Mm-mm. Yeah, you just have to be really careful not to get it close to your eyes because it will burn your eyes. So, but so if it's the first time, if it's the first time you're using it, go ahead and dilute it just to make sure your skin's going to react okay to it. But so that's one way that you'd use the carrier oil. Second way, sometimes they recommend it just because essential oil will evaporate, and so if you mix it with the carrier oil, it will stay on your skin a little bit longer. So it gives your skin time to absorb it. Okay, so it kind of delays the evaporation rate. And the fourth reason that you would do it is if you want to extend the surface area of your essential oil, use a carrier oil. So say a kid wakes up in the middle of the night with growing pains, just take like a teaspoon of the coconut oil, put 1 drop of Panaway, and then you'd be able to massage their whole leg. Okay, or if you're trying to do your whole back because you have a sore back. So you'd use a carrier oil to help spread the surface area of your essential oil. On the flip side, the essential oils, even though they're called oils, they're greaseless. I did say they'll never expire. They are volatile, so they will evaporate. Don't leave the lid off in your car. Your car will smell great, but the bottle of oil will be gone. And people have learned that the hard way. And then also, when I say anything like use it neat, it means apply the essential oil undiluted. That's a term they use.
So it's like a cocktail.
Use it neat.
Yeah,
Oh, is it cocktail?
Isn't that what a cocktail is?
Yeah, I want it neat. Meaning
Means
no
no
ice.
ice.
No ice.
See? You can tell I don't drink, huh?
Just throw it in the glass.
I used to bartend. I don't drink before. I used to bartend, so.
Okay, the next thing we're going to talk about how we can use our essential oils. There's 4 ways that you can use essential oils. The first is topically on our skin. We can also, like I mentioned, use these on kids, and you can also use these on pets. It's actually, essential oils are used quite frequently for dogs and horses. You can use them on cats. You have to be a little more careful. Cats tend to be toxic. Things are more toxic to cats. And you can actually use them for birds, too. If you have pets and you're planning on using them, there is a couple of Facebook groups that I would recommend. And there's Dr. Melissa, who has a Facebook group, and she has a book called The Animal Desk Reference. So topically, and again, like I said, because they're so small, the molecule's so small, they're in our blood within seconds, they're through our body within minutes. So they get rapidly absorbed. Again, they cross the blood-brain barrier. I'm going to mention these in your book. It will show you. We have VitaFlex points on our feet, hands, ears, and spine. It is very similar if you are familiar with acupuncture. So there's certain points on our feet, hands, spine, and ears that correlate with organ systems, okay? So this one, it shows you the feet, and what it is there's certain spots, like for the brain is underneath the big toe. So if I'm trying to help somebody who struggles with insomnia or snoring or depression or headache, something, if it's brain, you can put it underneath the big toe. Snoring, fabulous, yeah. Yeah, peppermint or Valor. Your husband uses peppermint, right?
Okay, I'm going to be rubbing Joe's toes with Valor tonight.
Yeah, or peppermint.
Yep.
It's like Valor didn't work for my dad, but peppermint
He's
works.
not snoring like he used to.
Yeah.
And he's
No.
not doing his.
I don't sleep. I
apnea
just don't
thing.
sleep.
I know. That's every woman when I
you
say
have to
this.
do
So like,
that.
I'm the snorer.
Oh, you're the snorer. Okay. So yeah, peppermint on the bottom of your big toe. However, that being said, if this is overwhelming, shut the book and just apply it on your feet. It's going to get absorbed and go where it needs to go. Okay? So I don't want people to get hung up and be like, I'm not going to apply it because I don't know exactly where that point is. Just put it on the bottom of your feet. I'll also say the bottom of the feet are a good place to start. If you're new and it's overwhelming, just put it on your feet. If it smells really bad, because not all of these essential oils smell pretty, okay? They're therapeutic oils, so they're not, perfume grade. For instance, vetiver, horribly smelling oil. I can't stand it. It's a really good one. It's proven in studies to help kids with ADHD. So,
that's a question.
yeah. So I've got
That's Vetiver?
vetiver. Yep.
V-I-V-O-R.
Vetiver. It does not come in the kit, but it's not a very expensive oil. I have Vetiver.
Okay.
Yep. I have several moms that have their kids on it, and I will just tell them, get the bottle, put a roller top on it, and I'll show you guys what a roller top is in a second. And then just so you don't even have to touch it with your hands, and then just roll it on their feet, and then put socks and shoes on and send them off to school. We've got several moms using it. They said parent-teacher conferences, the teachers are really noticing an improvement in the kids' behavior and attention. So anyways, smelly oils put on your feet.
And cover them up.
And then cover them up so you don't smell them. And I also talk about, my feet are great because they've got large pores, so that's another great thing. It rapidly absorbs. But also something to consider when you're walking barefoot in, grass that's been fertilized or on your tub that you just clean with bleach. Bleach is horrible for us. So you're absorbing all of that stuff in as well. Direct inhalation is the second way. So direct inhalation would be applying, the peppermint in your hand, for instance. Say you were congested. Drop a peppermint in your hand, rub your hands together, apply it over your nose and mouth, and just directly inhale. Deep breaths in and out for several minutes, 2-3 minutes. Okay, so really good for congestion. Direct inhalation is also really good if you're dealing with any emotional stuff. So anxiety, depression, that kind of thing. Because when you do the direct inhalation with certain oils, that are high in sequestrapenes, that gets right to the brain cells and works really fast. So sometimes people will do direct inhalation for some of their emotional stuff. You can also get these cute diffuser necklaces. It's like a locket, so it opens up, and then there's a little leather disc on the inside that you put your oil on, and then you shut it, and then you just smell it. It's with you all day. Or you smell it even. Smell. Yeah.
Yeah, every now and then with mine I'll.
Yeah,
and you can smell it all the time.
Yeah, and this one came from Sacred Arrow, which is, if you look it up online, it's Sacred Arrow Jewelry. I really like the philosophy behind this group. It's for stay-at-home moms. They just make, a selected, few. They don't have a ton, but they donate sacred frankincense to people who have cancer. You can apply to have somebody get a bottle of sacred frankincense. So I will tell you, if you want something from Sacred Arrow, 10 p.m. Peppermint and lemon. Sorry about that. Are a good one to use for waking up. Sometimes you're doing the allergy oils. Sometimes people are doing the sleep oils at night. Sometimes you just need a little stress away diffusing when you come home from work and the kids are wound up, because they always get wound up right before dinner. So lots of different reasons that you can diffuse. So that's the third way. And then the fourth way to use your essential oils is internally. And like I mentioned, these are 100% therapeutic grade oils, so they can be ingested. Some of them you're putting in a drop of water, or you're putting in honey, or you're putting in your yogurt, if they taste good. The other ones that don't taste good, you're putting in a capsule. Okay, so I put a drop of any of the citrus oils, whatever kind of sounds good for the morning, every morning in my water. It's a gentle detox, and I think it increases my water consumption just because it tastes better. We put oils in our girls' yogurt, so if you have plain Greek yogurt or something, you can then put, or if you make your own yogurt, then you can put some of the citrus oils in it to flavor it. My husband puts peppermint in his tea every morning, so peppermint is really good for reflux, so he uses it for that. I will take this time to say, if you are going to put essential oils in hot liquids, make sure the hot liquid has cooled down enough that you can drink it. Okay, if it's too hot that it's going to burn your mouth, don't put your oil in yet, because it could destroy the therapeutic properties of it. If it's cool enough to drink, you don't have a problem. Okay, so internally, so for instance, the one my husband does called Digest for his reflux, he puts in a capsule and takes it in the morning and night. So the capsule is a really good way of doing things, like I said, if it tastes bad, or some of the hot oils. You don't want it in your mouth. So 2 places on your body that you can't put oils, and it's not what you're thinking, because there are retention enemas and suppositories. So, but our eyes. So you don't want to put essential oils directly in your eyes. We can help different eye conditions with essential oils like macular degeneration, glaucoma, that kind of thing. But you're going to be applying the oils around the rim of the eye or in your hand, and then lean over, keep your eyes open so that the oil is evaporating into your eye. Okay, so we can help the eye, just don't put them directly in the eye. That being said, if you're using essential oils, they will get in your eye because you will just put Thieves on your grandkid's foot, and then 3 minutes later you itch your eye, and it will burn within a nanosecond, and you'll quickly remember what you did. Mm-hmm. And then you want to run for your carrier oil. Don't run for the water. Okay, so get your carrier oil, coconut oil, olive oil, just put a little dab right in the corner. It takes the sting out like almost instantly. Okay. Second place, you don't want to put oil is in the ear. Okay, we also can help different ear conditions with essential oils like tinnitus, ear infections, ear pain, but we're putting the oils in the back of the ear, front of the ear, on the ear. You can put the essential oil on a cotton ball and stick the cotton ball kind of in the outer part of the ear. You just do not want to drip the essential oil in the ear canal. Okay. Okay, let's get into the actual oils because that's the fun part, right? So we are, on top of the diffuser that you get, you will get this extra bonus kit. I'm going to show you what's in it. This is, it's changed a little bit because your bonus oil now is the citrus fresh. But this is what the inside looks like. And what it has is it has a couple samples of Ningxia Red. This stuff is fabulous. Do you guys remember when Zango was a big hit? Mm-hmm. Okay, this is like their Zango. So when I think of antioxidant foods, I think blueberries are a good one. Blueberries are 3,200 on an ORAC scale. Zango is 20,000. This is 33,000. Okay, so it's actually called an S ORAC value, which means a super ORAC value. Crazy antioxidant properties. So Ningxia Red, the whole history behind it. This is made with the Ningxia wolfberry. Sometimes people know it more as the goji berry. The goji berry went undiscovered for a long time because a couple reasons. The political affluence of northern China and the geographical location of northern China. This comes from the Ningxia province, really far north in China. And when it was discovered, and actually it was the secret weapon of the Chinese Olympians. They would use it in the Olympics. So when it was discovered and they found out how antioxidant it was, then it became widely known. And then it's infused with different essential oils. So it is good, literally head to toe. Anti-aging, chews up free radicals. People have noticed their eyes, their like eyesight has improved on it. It helps liver. It has a low glycemic index, so diabetics can use it. It actually kind of levels out blood sugar, so you don't have the peaks and troughs that diabetics get during the day. It's really good for energy. It's really good for weight loss. In fact, my husband and I, we all four of us drink it. My kids get a half an ounce every morning. They only get water and milk, so like to have their juice, their Ningxia, they even call it Ningxia, it's their treat. So they get a half an ounce. My husband and I do 2 ounces. Then the instructions are 1 to 2 ounces, 1 to 2 times a day. Okay. When we started it, we noticed by between weeks 2 and 3, both of us completely lost our sugar cravings. So that was huge for us because for my husband's a chocoholic, and chocolate even triggers his migraines, but it still doesn't stop them. And we used to meet, we still meet every day for lunch, and we used to have a huge bag of pretzel M&Ms, the kind you get at Sam's Club, the really big bag. And we'd have lunch together, and then we'd each get a handful, and then we'd go for our walk. And it was, we started this, and it was like, he got them out, and like, that's all right, I don't want any. He's like, yeah, I don't. I said, I think it's the Ningxia Red. He goes, yeah, now that you mention it, I really haven't had much of a sweet tooth either. And we still don't. Like, we had Thanksgiving, and he said the same thing, like, I don't know what it is, but like, we had a bunch of pies left over here. He's like, he didn't want any of them. So, and my mom has noticed now, it took my mom a little bit longer. It took her a couple months before she really noticed it, but she can have like a bite of something sweet, and then that's all she wants. So she's really noticed the difference too. My neighbor actually is doing this, and she's noticed she doesn't need her glasses anymore. So she's kind of anxious to go back to the eye doctor. And I actually have my eye doctor on our team too. So, like the Ningxia works really well. So the Ningxia Red. And then you're going to get some sachets up at the top. So there's 10 oil sachets. There's 2 of lemon, lavender, peppermint, thieves, and peace and calming. There's 4 drops of oil in each sachet. So these are good to either put in your purse or give to friends or family, or if you need a peppermint for snoring, you should try it out. You do that. In fact, at my vendor event, I was talking to somebody, and it was right before Thanksgiving, and she's like, oh my God, is there a way that I can get peppermint? Like, I'm going to be in a hotel room, and I know I'm not going to sleep. And she actually got enrolled, but then came back and she's like, oh my gosh, it worked like a charm. She's like, I've never slept so good because they weren't snoring. And she said they had it for 3 days. She made her packet work for the first 2, and she said the third night was horrible. She's like, peppermint. She just said, I laid in bed going, oh my gosh, I would do anything for another little packet of peppermint.
How did she use it? How do you use it?
Bottom of the big toe.
Where does it?
Easy.
He's doing it.
So what does the Veiler do for? I thought that was for snoring too.
It is.
It is. So some people...
Peppermint's better.
Yes, so this is a good time to mention that everybody's chemistry is different. So what might work for you won't work for you. So if peppermint doesn't work, try Veiler. Veiler doesn't work, try peppermint. Okay, it's in the beginning, it is a little bit of a trial and error, especially if people are trying to sleep. There's lots of different sleep oils. So, yep, so you got to kind of try. And then you're going to get a roller top. This is really handy. If you're doing much with oils, you'll probably end up reordering a pack of 10. I think it's under $10, like $9.75. These real roller tops, they can go on any bottle, okay? And it's just kind of a nice, quick application. So if you're rubbing it on your wrist or behind your ears, you can make little oil blends, anxiety blends, or allergies to help with that. So the roller top's really nice. If you get this kit and nothing is in these 2 containers, don't flip out. Pull all of the cardboard out of your box, okay? I've had so many people call me, like, oh my God, Julie! And it used to be Stress Away in here. I don't have any Stress Away, this is gone. I'm like, okay, calm down, because you need this. So pull all your cardboard out, and you'll find your Stress Away bottle and your roller top. So it's common that they fall behind. So you get the roller top, and then you'll get a bottle, another little bottle, and this is, again, it's not going to be Stress Away, it's going to be Citrus Fresh in this kit. But you're still going to get Stress Away, it will just be in the other kit. Okay. The roller top, I'll mention this now. So, and this is because I also get this call. People call me and tell me my roller top doesn't fit on any of my bottles. Because when you stick this on the top, it's gonna feel loose. Like it just sits right in there. You're like, that's not gonna stay on my bottle. Then take the black cap that you've been given, put it on top, twist it. You'll feel and hear a click usually, and then it's on your bottle, okay? So it will stay on there when you want to use it. That being said, when this runs out, don't throw it away, and don't try and use pliers to get it off, because I've had people try and use pliers, and they call me, I can't get my roller off. Now I think it's ruined. It is. Put the black cap on it, and then just kind of pop it sideways, and it will pop the roller top right off. And then you can use this on whatever other oil bottle you want to use it on. Okay, so
you can't switch it back and forth from one bottle to another.
You can.
It would but any oil that's on it would get mixed.
I never really worry about oils mixing. I figure, yeah, like people.
It's not gonna hurt you,
right? Not gonna hurt you. And like when you use up a bottle, so I'd keep your old bottles. Okay, so when you use up a bottle, like I usually will just take the lid off and leave it because it will all evaporate out. And then there's people who are like, oh, I boil mine, and I don't do anything else. I figure it evaporates, and whatever's left in there is probably beneficial for me anyway, so I'm not real big on that. So yeah, you can flip them back and forth. I don't wash my roller tops when I've changed them before, so. And then your Citrus Fresh. And we'll pass around, I'll pass around the Stress Away when we get to it, and then the Citrus Fresh as well. And then you're going to get the Everyday Oil Kit, so it's going to look like this. It's going to come with this nice little guide, and then there's 10 oils in there. Okay, these oils, yeah, I know. These oils are 5 ml bottles. Okay, a 5 ml bottle of oil has 80 to 100 drops of oil in it. When you reorder, you're usually reordering in a 15 ml size bottle. These have 250 to 300 drops in it. So these oils are going to last you quite a while. So we're going to pass them around. I'm going to tell you what you can use them for. You're going to smell them. Feel free to use them if you need to for any reason. And then we'll have questions. So this next one coming around is lavender. Lavender is like the Swiss Army of essential oils because there are so many uses of lavender. It's therapeutic grade lavender. So if you like perfume grade lavender, you might not like this, but it is the therapeutic grade.
That's what my kitchen smelled like.
Yeah, when you were cooking or baking or mixing.
I did all lavender yesterday.
So Swiss Army, there's over 200 different chemical components or constituents of the lavender plant alone. That is why it works for so many different uses. It takes 175 to 250 pounds of lavender plant material to make 1 pound of lavender oil. So it takes a lot of plant. But when I think of lavender, I think of sleep. Okay, so lavender is one that people will use to help sleep. You can either do this by making a lavender linen spray, taking a 4-ounce bottle of distilled water, put 5-6 drops of lavender in it, spray your sheets and pillowcase, and do it that way. You can take an Epsom salt bath before you go to bed. If you're going to do that, put your oil in your Epsom salt, and then put the Epsom salt into your bathtub, okay? Because your Epsom salt is the emulsifier. That's going to keep your oil in your bath water and not laying on the top layer of your water. So some people will do that. Sometimes people will just apply it directly to them, behind their ears, wrists, something like that, or you can diffuse it, okay? So lots of different reasons. So I think of sleep. The other one I think of lavender is skin. So burns, like whether it's a burn on the stove or iron, or sunburns. So mix it with coconut oil, put it on a sunburn. Any cuts, scrapes, bruises, bumps. My girls come to me and ask for lavender when they have a boo-boo, and they actually say lavender, and they actually know which one's lavender because it's purple. So that's another good use for the lavender. Lavender, also the third thing I always think of is allergies. So that one's a really good one for allergies. It's part of the allergy trio, which is lavender, lemon, and peppermint. So when one of my girls had seasonal allergies before she was even 1 year old, they want to put her on an antihistamine. I said, nope. So we do lemon, lavender, peppermint in the diffuser during allergy season, and she gets by just fine. This year for ragweed season, I took an empty I took an empty 5 ml bottle. I put 10 drops each of lemon, lavender, peppermint. I filled the rest with a carrier oil. I put a roller top on it, and I put allergy balm on the side. And my husband took it with him. And whenever he felt like he was getting like itchy, runny eyes, he just would apply it, and that took care of his allergies. So yeah, different ways you can use that. So that's the lavender. The next one coming around is peppermint. Again, not perfume grade peppermint. It's therapeutic grade peppermint. It's very strong. 1 drop of peppermint is equivalent to 26 cups of peppermint tea. Okay, this stuff's strong. So like my husband puts it in his tea. He likes peppermint. He puts it in protein drinks too. For me, 1 drop of peppermint has to go in a very big glass of water for me to be able to drink it. Some people can't even do that. So if that is the case, do the toothpick method where you dip your toothpick into the peppermint oil and then use your toothpick to stir your water. And it will you won't get quite as much as a whole drop. When I think of peppermint,
Can you tell me what was the equivalent again?
1 drop of peppermint oil is equivalent to 26 cups of peppermint tea. And actually, they did studies. The University of Cincinnati found that inhaling peppermint increased mental accuracy by 28%. So peppermint is one. I've got some teachers on my team, and I'm really trying to push and get some of these oils in the classroom because there's a lot of good uses. I'm actually meeting with a clinical psychologist that works with kids, and he's got 20 clinical psychologists work with him. And they've got a lot of networking in the schools. So lots of good uses that you can use for kids in school time. So, but peppermint, I use it for my headaches, like I mentioned. So forehead, temples, back of the neck. So anything that hurts. And I also think of anything digestion. So reflux, nausea, vomiting, cramping, diarrhea. In fact, I woke up one night with really bad cramps, and like the kind you're not going to go back to sleep. I was up and back and forth to the bathroom, and I remember my peppermint oil was on my bedside table because I have it there for my headaches. And so I'm like, oh, and I just put it on, and literally in less than a minute, all the cramps were gone, and I was back. I just rubbed it on. Yep, 1 drop. I was back to sleep, and I never woke up till morning. Like, I mean, it was like this. So it works really fast. Again, my husband puts it in his tea for reflux, but he also uses the digest too. So. Again, we mentioned the snoring. And then fevers, and I mentioned this, if you have little ones, like your 18-month-old grandsons, I don't treat fevers too aggressively. They're there for a reason. They're killing whatever virus or bacteria is in the body. But when it gets up to 104, you kind of worry about like a febrile seizure, having a seizure because of a fever. And so I'll just take a little diluted peppermint around the belly button, spine, and their feet, and it brings down a fever nicely. So.
Okay, so belly button,
spine and feet, and you want to make sure it's diluted because it is a hot oil. And again, we mentioned the alertness and concentration, congestion. Peppermint is a great one for congestion. Flavoring foods because the brownies over there have peppermint in them. And then I mentioned this because nobody likes spiders. Take a little spray bottle, 4-ounce distilled water, put some 5-6 drops of peppermint oil, spray all your windows and door jambs in the spring.
Okay, so how long does the smell stay? I know my kids get headaches bad, and so I'm thinking, okay, if I could get my son to rub it
It's not long. It does not stay that
So
long.
it doesn't. It's not like Bengay or something. You smell it.
No,
Forever. Okay.
no, because it's rapidly absorbed, so it's going to do its thing, but then it evaporates off your skin,
Right,
so
okay.
you don't have that smell with you too
Okay,
long.
so you could do it and then go to the movies or something.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Okay, the next one coming around is Thieves. I don't go anywhere without my bottle of Thieves.
Oh,
Right?
you know what? Today, I am honestly, when I travel from now on,
Mm-hmm.
I am taking
The spray?
Thieves spray
Uh-huh.
because they were talking on Kathleen Hoda about the hotels, and there's
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
just recently there was that thing on TV about how they don't clean the
Right.
glasses and they
Right.
don't do this and that.
Yeah.
I am taking my Thieves spray and I am spraying
Everything.
everything.
I know.
Everything. I told my husband I'm going to clean the glasses
It's
with
strong.
the
Cool.
Thieves spray.
I
I'm
take
going
my
to clean
diffuser.
everything.
Mhm.
I
Yep.
take my diffuser
Yeah.
when I travel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do too.
Ward
So
muscles.
clove is it's a blend. It's got or Thieves. It's got clove, lemon, cinnamon bark, eucalyptus radiata, and rosemary in it. It is like everything anti everything. So any kind of sickness or anything like that. Studies show diffusing Thieves kills 99.96% of airborne microbial. So great to have during the winter months. If you have kiddos that are sick, or somebody's been over visiting that's been sick, or you've been sick and you don't want to get anybody else in the household sick, it's a great one to use. Again, like we said, when we feel it coming on, my husband and I put a drop underneath our tongue. Thanks. And put it on our feet. We put it on our girls' feet every single night. And again, they haven't been sick since using it. So it's been fabulous. We don't go anywhere. I tell people if you're going to travel, take a little 2-ounce bottle, distilled water, put 4 or 5 drops of Thieves oil in it, take it to the airport. You can use it as a hand sanitizer. Then it goes through security because it's under 3 ounces. And then when you get on the plane, spray your tray, spray the handles, use it as a throat spray while you're flying because we all know that air just kind of keeps getting recirculated. And then when you get to your hotel, you spray your bed sheets, clean the counters, and all with just one
So I
oil.
told her about
So,
bought out chops on her brown bottles. Every
Yeah.
brown bottle that I could get my hands on, every dropper, I bought them all out.
And
yeah.
My husband's been using it lately on
On
his
his
tooth,
tooth?
the one that he's got to have finally pulled this
Really?
week.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Yeah,
he's
that's really
waiting
helpful.
for that, and
Yeah.
yeah, because he'll, sit down and say, "Did you put these on your tooth?" Yep. But it works.
Clove does.
It's
I mean,
really
clove
great.
alone works fabulous.
And that's
yeah.
an old cloves goes way,
Yeah.
way
The
back
history
to-
behind Thieves, it was actually in the 14th, 15th century when the plague hit Europe. They stopped all the imports and exports, and the clove merchants or the spice merchants weren't getting sick, but they started stealing from the dead and dying because they had to survive. And then the king heard about it, had them brought to the kingdom, and they said, "How are you avoiding the plague?" And they said, "We knew if we anointed ourselves with these spices, that would protect us." Well, clove was one of those spices. Clove, it has the highest ORAC value of any single element. So like 1 million. So it's over 1 million. It's huge, huge antioxidant. And ORAC value stands for action radical absorbance capacity. So it's how antioxidant a property is. So that's kind of the history behind clove and why it's so good.
What
ORA.
does it stand for?
Oxygen radical absorbance capacity. So that one's a real good one. Like I said, I don't really leave home without it. There is a whole dental line as well that I feel like it's worth mentioning because, like, if you go home and read the back of your toothpaste and it says, "If swallowed, call poison control," throw it out. You should not be brushing your teeth with it. And that's usually the sodium lauryl sulfate that's in it that is so bad for us, which is the detergent in toothpaste. It's what makes your toothpaste foam up. Yep. So they have the Thieves toothpaste, which I absolutely love. It's really good for people, anybody that has gum issues, gingivitis, or sensitive gums or sensitive teeth. And then it's really good for killing the bacteria that's not supposed to be in our mouth and that can cause bad breath. And they've got mouthwash and dental floss and a whole Thieves oral line. Also, is anybody familiar with oil pulling? Okay, so you put coconut oil in your mouth and you swish it back and forth almost like you're liquefying Jell-O. Coconut oil in and of itself has a lot of health properties. It pulls toxins out. So when you're done oil pulling, they suggest doing it for 20 minutes. I'm lucky if I make it 5 minutes. But then you'll want to spit it into the garbage. You can eat coconut oil. People eat it as a supplement on a daily basis to help with Alzheimer's and different things. So it's safe to eat, but you wouldn't want to swallow it because of the toxins in it, and you don't want to spit it down your drain because coconut oil is solid when it's below 76 degrees. So spit it into a waste can. But put a drop of coconut oil, a drop of Thieves oil in your coconut oil before you do the oil pulling, because that's really good too.
Because I pull, but I also, that's what I use for my oregano.
Mm-hmm.
But I will heat up water, and then I put the coconut oil in a shot glass.
Right, and melt it.
And melt it, and then I just chug it.
Uh-huh. That's
I
okay.
shouldn't be doing that with the coconut oil?
Oh, no.
No, that's okay.
No, she meant when you're, after you've.
After you've oil pulled
yeah.
it, spit out what you've oil pulled.
Yeah, and matter
Yeah.
of fact, I was talking to Dr. Bob, the honey guy who wrote that book. When we talked about it, he was like, 5 minutes, trust me.
It
what
still
needs
works.
to come
right.
is going to come. Because
Yeah.
you don't need to do it for longer.
Yeah, and I tell people, I'm like, if all you can get is 5 minutes, you're still getting a benefit
Yeah.
from it. Yeah. Yeah.
It just sounds, I know if I.
And then they also, the other one I want to mention is they do have the Thieves household cleaner, which, and I mention this because of all the toxins that are in cleaners. So it comes as a concentrate. You get 14 ounces, 14.4 ounces for the bottle. And the dilution ratio is 1 part cleaner to 30 parts water. So it's 1 ounce of cleaner and 30 ounces of water. So you're going to get 14 huge 30-ounce bottles of cleaner. So it's really cheap, really cost-effective. It's antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal, non-toxic. I clean my floors, counters, sinks, tubs, toilets, mirrors. It doesn't streak. Windows. It smells great. You know, a lot of people who do natural, and it cleans well. Yeah. So a lot of people who do natural cleaners do vinegar, which, you know, then you've got that smell of vinegar. This smells kind of like clove, you know, because it's the Thieves. But I really like the smell. It's really important for me with my kids being 2.5. They're still on the ground and things go in their mouth. So it makes me feel good knowing that they're not getting the toxins. So you can also clean.
My daughter started a cleaning business, and that's what they use.
That's fabulous.
Yep, that's what they use.
Yeah.
Because they're
Because
like,
they're
we can't. Well, they don't want to be exposed
right.
to it.
Because they're exposed
They
to it
don't,
all
because
day
when
long.
we first found out, her dad was like, "You want masks? You want things to cover your feet?"
Yeah.
Like I was just like, no. Like
Yeah.
I was so, and she was like, "Mom, I just want to get a big bottle of Thieves." And
I
was
know.
like, "Okay."
Yeah.
Like, girl.
And you can clean your fruits and vegetables with it. You can put it in your dishwasher. You can put it in your washing machine. You can clean carpet stains or laundry stains. I just actually put it in a load of clothes that I just did. So it's so versatile. You can throw everything else that's underneath your sink out.
What did it do by putting it in with your laundry? Just help the
Like if you, particularly I had like 4 different shirts that are white, and I swear whoever puts white on one of my girls, like I want to bring them that, because there's one that eats really, really neat, and then the other one has everything all over her face and down the front of her. So there was some white shirts that she had on that I'm trying to treat, and so I put lemon oil. I just read if you put lemon oil right before you throw it into the washer, and then I put Thieves in it just for an extra. But like if you had a whole pile of towels that smell kind of mildewy, that would be the time like you'd really use your Thieves cleaner. Or if you're cleaning out your washing machine, you know, you could do the Thieves cleaner through it. So yeah, lots of good things. So I wanted to bring that up, but love the Thieves. Okay, the next one coming around is frankincense. This was, and I'll take the time now to say, essential oils aren't a fad. They've been around forever. Frankincense was one of the oils they took baby Jesus. I think essential oils are mentioned 177 times or something in the Bible. So it's not a fad. I think what people are seeing is you're hearing about it more because the awareness is higher. So I think because of the way our healthcare is going, pharmaceuticals are expensive. People can't afford them. People are looking for alternatives. And I think that's why you might be hearing about essential oils a little bit more. So frankincense, very valuable oil. Sought after more than gold. It was valued more than gold in ancient times. In this, they have frankincense and myrrh farms in Oman. This is where one of the Young Living farms is, and it's over by Saudi Arabia. Dr. Lin at OU did studies on frankincense for 7 years and actually found that it was able to get rid of cancer cells. So frankincense is one that people go for when they've been diagnosed with cancer. Sacred frankincense. So, in fact, my parents' dog was diagnosed on June 2nd with peritoneal carcinomatosis, which is a cancer, a bleeding cancer. He was given 2 weeks to live. We put 2 drops of frankincense in a capsule every day that he took, and we did the raindrop massage technique on him, which consists of like 8 different oils once a week. He lived 6 months, and he had really good quality. We just put him down a couple weeks ago. So, yeah. But, I mean, we got 6 months out of it, and he did really good. Like, he wasn't suffering at all. So, frankincense is high in sequesterpenes, which is why it helps with emotional stuff. So depression, anxiety. I just talked to a gal. She never leaves anywhere without her bottle of frankincense. She gets anxiety attacks. she feels them coming on, she applies it behind her ear and then inhales it, just, right out of the bottle, and it like stops her anxiety attack in its tracks. It acts on the pineal gland, which is the seat of all of our emotions in our brain. It's also good for skin issues. So I put frankincense in my face lotion. It's good for preventing wrinkles. It's good for age spots or liver spots or dark spots, whatever you want to call them. But it's also good for concentration, ADD, brain health, depression, anxiety. We mentioned stretch marks. So lots of good uses for frankincense. It's actually out of stock right now, but it does come in the kits. So, yeah, I mean, for the rest of us, we'd have to order another kit, which, I mean, I go through all these. When we say everyday oils, you usually use them every day. Like, they're so versatile, so.
I wish I would have signed up, because that's amazing compared to what I got when I signed up. Like, there was...
Oh, really?
How long ago did you sign?
It's been a while. It's been, almost 3 years.
Wow.
The frankincense, what I wanted to tell you was, the Copa Eva almost tastes like the frankincense smells.
Oh, really?
That gives you an idea.
Huh.
To
Interesting.
me, that's what it, like, immediately that was what
Yeah.
triggered for me.
Interesting. All right, this next one coming around is lemon. Everybody loves lemon. Such a feel-good, uplifting scent. University researchers in Japan found that when diffusing or inhaling lemon during test taking, it increased scores by up to 50%. So another big one I'm trying to get into the schools and talk to the teachers about. It's full of antioxidants. I take, again, a citrus oil every day in my water. It's a gentle detox. It is a hot oil. And the other thing I mentioned, everybody talks about, how good lemon is in the water. And, everybody gets a lemon with their water at a restaurant. And then you get it and you squeeze the pulp and whatever juice comes out. That's not where the good part of the lemon is. The good part of a lemon is in the rind. Okay, so the essential oil is cold pressed from the rind. It's the D-limonene that's in it that is so good for us. It is a hot oil, though I don't, as I mentioned before, I don't really feel that heat. And any citrus oil, if you're applying it to your skin, it will make your skin more photosensitive. So if you are going to go outside, make sure you're protected with sunblock. Okay? And I'll mention this again. Anytime you're putting citrus oils into water, you're going to want to make sure it's either a glass or a stainless steel cup. Okay? Because you don't want to, the citrus oil will break down the petrochemicals of the plastic, and then you would be ingesting them. Okay? There's probably half a dozen different options at Meijer's for glass or stainless steel water bottles, like if you wanted to take a big water bottle to work with you. Otherwise, we just have our assortment of glass cups in our cupboard that my husband and I are always using. Lemon is also a pH balancer, so we always talk about, or you'll sometimes hear or read about how we become acidic because of our lifestyles and processed food that we eat. And when you're in an acidic environment, that's when disease processes can happen. So lemon or the citrus oils are alkalinizing, so they'll bring us closer back to basics. So that's kind of when we talk about a gentle detox, how that helps there too. Also is good for draining the lymphatics. So oftentimes if you have a sore throat, sometimes you're putting them on your neck so that you get those lymph nodes draining. But infections in the mouth, air fresheners, ear infections, bacterial infections, you can use this as Goo-Gone. So get rid of your Goo-Gone with all the chemicals and use your lemon oil. Food flavoring, varicose veins, that kind of thing. All right, this next one coming around is purification. This is a blend, and I really like purification.
I'm curious about this one.
Oh, really? Have you not smelled it?
No.
No?
Like I said, when I got my kid, none of this was in there.
Really?
I mean, I just want to come here every night and just have you teach me.
Do you live around here?
No, I'm in Three Rivers,
Okay.
but it's a hop skip. I mean,
Yeah,
it's not.
Not too far.
Oh.
I like it. So purification is citronella, lemongrass. Those are the
That's
two
what
that
I
you
smell,
smell.
the citronella.
Yep, and lemongrass. Rosemary, Melaleuca alternifolia, which is like tea tree oil, lavender, and myrtle. So, and this is like if you just burnt something in the oven or bacon or you fried fish or something that's a really strong smell that sticks in the house, this is something really good to diffuse in your diffuser. It purifies the air. We were just talking about some people will put this on their filters that are in their furnace, and then your whole house smells really good. And you can do that with any oil, but purification happens to actually purify the air as well. Sometimes people will put this next to the litter box, the cat litter box, to kind of help with smells. You can also use it instead of hydrogen peroxide to like cleanse and disinfect cuts or scrapes. It is one of the oils that I put in my insect repellent. So it repels insects. If you forgot to use that and you did get bit or stung, it's really good for bee stings or mosquito bites. It takes the redness, the swelling, and the itch right out. And this is also another good one for acne. So if you have a teenager that's struggling with acne, or even us adults that get them still, so purification is good for that. My big testimony with purification, I had with somebody in her early 70s, complete skeptic, and she had a UTI, smelly urine, cloudy urine, all the symptoms, burned when she peed. She called her doctors. They said, well, we have to see you. She said, well, I'm fine doing a UA, but, I have an office visit, copay. And they're like, nope, we're not going to write your prescription until we see you. So she hung up, waited another week. Everything got worse. Called again. She waited on hold for 30 minutes, hung up. Called her granddaughter, who was nannying my girls this summer, and said, ask Julie if she has anything for a UTI. So I got home. Lindsay says, do you have something for a UTI? And I said, why? Are you having symptoms? She goes, well, Carol is. And I'm thinking, she's never going to use the oils. But I gave her what I thought she should use, and I told her how she should use them. And on Tuesday, my phone rang, and I had caller ID, so I picked it up, and I said, hey, have you used your oils? And it was quiet. Like, I thought maybe I lost connection. And I said, are you there? And she said, just tell me how it works. So she got the oils on Saturday. By Tuesday, clear urine, it was not smelly anymore, and she had no symptoms. And we all know that when we take antibiotics, one, it screws the gut flora up, so it kills all the good antibiotics that are in our GI tract. And she was one of those patients that if you wrote a prescription for an antibiotic, you might as well write a prescription for diflucan, because she got a yeast infection every time she took an antibiotic. So she was thrilled. And she told me, she goes, now if you can just help me with the pain I have from my arthritis, I'm all sold. So I went over there with some pain cream and put that on her knee and her shoulder, and she now has her own diffuser and her own kit of oils, and she does things on her own. So I also, I've got my 89-year-old aunt that uses it. She got started really for the pain cream. I mean, she hasn't had back pain for the first time in 60 years. I mean, they've tried so many different things, and she uses the pain cream every morning and every night, and she has no back pain. And also sleep. And those are the two things when I think of elderly, sleep and pain, huge. So, lots of good uses, and, I mean, it's not limited to just, middle-aged. I mean, it's infants to death. You can, get some advantage with the essential oils. I will mention peace and calming at the end. Well, okay, I'll talk about it now. This is no longer in the kit, but I am going to mention it because I think it is a really good oil. And, like for your grandsons, do you have any kids? Okay. And you're probably... So yeah,
I got that one,
but probably
in
older
my
kids.
kit with the roller.
Yeah,
That's what came
in the bonus
and my
one.
diffuser is totally it's
They've changed
green.
it. Yeah. So peace and calming. So again, not in the kit, but I'm gonna mention it. It's a blend of tangerine, orange, ylang ylang, patchouli, and blue tansy. So blue tansy is the ingredient in there that works on the emotions. So panic attacks. The peace and calming promotes a relaxation and deep sense of peace. So this, again, anxiety, depression, stress, anything. This is another good one that you can be used for sleep. So for insomnia.
So I just don't, I couldn't.
You don't like the smell of that
I
one?
don't like the smell
Really?
of that one. Yeah, and I put my roller on it, and it was like wrist, back here.
I don't like it. I like it.
Yeah,
It's the patchouli, I think, is what.
It's
is
funny.
very
Somebody else
strong.
said they smelled the patchouli really strong in it. And
We were diffusing it when I first got my kit, and I had that diffusing, but we were outside raking leaves, and the slider was open.
you could
My
smell
husband could smell it like halfway up the back.
Really?
In the backyard, and he's like, he walked in. He goes, "That's what I smelled out there," and I had noticed it too. It's very strong.
it. Yeah, I like it.
And I probably put too many
drops in.
first.
Yeah, so you don't know.
Over
When you're diffusing, I usually tell people start with like 4 drops, because you can always add more oil to the water, but you can't, once you put it in there, you can't take it out. So I start with 4 drops, and some people only can handle a couple. If you're really sensitive, you got a really sensitive nose or olfactory nerve. So some people don't need that much, and my mom has 8 drops for every time she puts it in there. So, but like I told you, Christmas spirit, I can only put 3 in. That's the max.
And I can't smell
and
it.
you can't smell it. Yeah. So everybody's
It's
different.
so weird.
This is a really good one for overactive kids. A lot of parents will use this during bedtime routine. Panic attacks, like I mentioned. The blue tansy in it is really good for combating negative emotions. So we tend to store negative emotions in the liver. So sometimes people will apply the peace and calming to their liver. I use peace and calming for teeth grinding. So if you're a teeth grinder or clencher, I put a drop on my wrist actually, and then just roll it kind of down my jawline. And within a minute or 2 of putting it on, I can feel that relax. I don't notice that I clench my teeth, but my dentist, he said my back teeth are pretty much flat, and I got really big muscles here, so I clearly do, and I do notice that it relaxes. So.
I might not like the smell, but I guess I better.
Right.
I have to use all of these things.
I know.
With the Christmas spirit, I did diffuse it just a few days ago, a week ago. The only thing then I could smell in it was the orange.
Oh, really?
Then I could smell it, but all I could smell was orange.
I do
that's
lavender and orange together before I go to
For
bed.
sleep.
Yeah. And orange is supposed to be more invigorating.
But it can be relaxing in it too.
But there's something about when I combine the two of them together that is just like.
Is that something you just came up with, trial by error?
Yep,
that is, like I said, a lot of it is trial and error. This next one is Panaway. This is in the kit. This is a fabulous one for anything that hurts. So this is part of the pan cream. This has wintergreen in it. That's the main smell. And then helichrysum's in this, clove, and peppermint. It actually reduces, the pain, hurting, inflammation, increases circulation. It can accelerate healing. So if you had a sprain or a strain, it helps with arthritis, muscle spasms. This is the one I said about growing pains. So if they wake up with, growing pains in their legs, some coconut oil with the Panaway works great. Sciatic nerve issues. This you can use on animals as well. So diluted if your dog has pain. And like I said, we've replaced all of our ibuprofen with the pain cream. So yeah, put it on something that hurts. There you go. This next one. This is the other one that was taken out of the kit. So the two, and I'll tell you why they changed the kit on November 17th. Peace and Calming and Valor. They didn't have the blue tansy for the Peace and Calming and the spruce for Valor. And I will tell you that is one of the drawbacks. If you are using natural products, there are times that things go out of stock. Okay, because we can't.
They're out of season.
Yes, they're out of season, or the crop was bad, or it was drought, or it froze, whatever. Lots of different variables. And they can't just go into the lab and synthetically make whatever they need. Okay, so there are times that things go out of stock. I understand it is so frustrating, especially when it's an oil that you rely on. Okay, and Valor was one that was out of stock forever, like months, like 4 or 5 months. And the rest of us were going crazy because we were ordering starter kits like up the wazoo because it came in the starter kit, but you couldn't just order the single bottle of Valor. Okay, so they changed it because what was happening is all of their supplies were going into their kits and they had no extra. They didn't have any surplus for anybody that was already a part of Young Living that wanted to reorder. So they made a really good change. They didn't want to make their kits out of stock. So what they did is they pulled the Peace and Calming and Valor out so that it was available to either order for the first time, because we're going to tell you that they're great oils, or for us that had it to be able to reorder it. And I think they chose great oils to place them because Melaleuca alternifolia, which is tea tree oil, has so many great uses for our immune system and our skin, and a lot of people are familiar with that oil. And then Citrus Fresh, which is a fabulous blend. So I think they swapped out some good oils. But I'm going to mention this because Valor to me has so many good uses. It's another blend and actually has spruce, rosewood, blue tansy, and frankincense. So the blue tansy, again, which combats negative emotions, and it's got frankincense. So it's high in sequestrations, works really well in the brain for emotional stuff. So this oil is good for emotional imbalances. Okay, and this is also this story behind Valor, the history behind it, is soldiers used to bathe in this during wartime. And it instills courage and self-esteem. So if you have a kiddo that is being bullied at school, perfect one to put on them. Or if you have a kiddo that has to do a presentation at school, or go to talk to a teacher, or if you have to go talk to a supervisor, or have to talk in a big crowd that you don't like to do, this is the oil that you need for courage and to increase self-esteem. And again, a lot of it is because of the blue tansy and the frankincense in it. So this is also called the chiropractor in a bottle. So some chiropractors will use this. It helps if you apply it before the adjustment. It makes the adjustment easier. If you apply it after the adjustment, it holds the adjustment longer.
And it's like on your spine.
Yes,
right?
correct. Yep. Also good for a sciatica. I know Kara said that she put a drop on Tony's heel, and it helps with sciatica. Sleep apnea, anxiety, TMJ issues. You can also use this one for pets, for going to the vet. If they're not big into going to the vet. So this one, again, the Peace and Calming and the Valor are not in the kit. They're pretty cheap. I think the Valor's $12.75.
$22.
Not anymore, because they're 5 ml bottles.
I know. I just ordered 2 of them. Did I pay 12? I'd have to look.
I think it's
Maybe it was
$12.75. I think.
Maybe I think you're right. Was it 22 for the?
Peace and Calming, maybe.
Maybe that was the payment. I can't remember. I have to look at my.
Yeah,
at my
I think it's $12.75 for the Valor.
Yeah.
So pretty cheap. This next one coming around is Joy. You'll either love this one or you'll hate it. I was repulsed by it in the beginning,
Oh,
but now it's
That was a warning.
yeah.
It doesn't smell like I would think of Joy.
Yeah, it's an uplifting, exotic, stimulating blend. It's got 10 different oils in it. So it's got bergamot, ylang ylang, geranium, lemon, coriander, tangerine, jasmine, Roman chamomile, palmarosa, and rose. Okay, so it's got a lot in there. I'll tell you, I'll take the time right now. Rose oil is the most expensive oil that Young Living sells. You will spend $185 to get a 5 ml bottle of rose oil. Okay, and the reason why, it takes 5,000 pounds of rose petals to get 1 pound of rose oil. And if you look at, and we talk about it when we get to like the essential oil 201 classes, when we talk about frequencies, we're all kind of energetic beings. We all resonate at a certain frequency. The human body's like 62 to 68. But we can use essential oils to bring up our frequencies and keep us healthy. And rose oil has the highest frequency of any oil. So that is why it's so high. Now, I will say that, of course, none of us are going to want to spend $185 for a 5 ml bottle. So this is another way that you can use this book. So if you looked up rose oil in this book, you can look up the singles. It will tell you the history about it, the historical data. It will tell you the medical properties. So the medical properties of rose oil is anti-inflammatory, anti-HIV, antioxidant, anxiolytic, so that's anti-anxiety, hepatoprotective, so that means it protects our liver, relaxant, reduces scarring, anti-ulcer, immunomodulating, cancer chemopreventative, and DNA damage prevention. Sounds like a good oil, right? Yeah. But then the last section of every single oil, it will tell you found in. And it will tell you every blend that rose oil is in. So if there's a particular oil that you want to try but it's really expensive, look to see what blends it's in. And then oftentimes there's some other oils in that blend that might benefit you as well. So that's how
Young Living blends.
Yep. They're all the Young Living blends. But Joy is a really good one for somebody who's grieving. If they've lost a spouse or a pet or anything like that. Really good. It also is part of the Happy Protocol, which Gary Young, who founded Young Living, put together the Happy Protocol. It's Valor on the feet, a drop of Harmony over the solar plexus, a drop of Joy over the heart, and then white Angelica in your hands, and you just kind of wipe down your body. That's like your angelic shield. I've heard people get off their antidepressant meds with the Happy Protocol. It's a quick uplift, mood boosting, blood circulation, blood pressure. It helps with menstrual cramps. So I put a drop over my heart every day. Like I said, I was repulsed from it in the beginning, but now the smell does not bother me. All right, I'm going to send around the Melaleuca alternifolia, otherwise known as tea tree oil. Most people know what this one smells like. It's very strong. Antimicrobial, antiviral, antiparasitic, antifungal, anti-inflammatory.